Good afternoon. Notice of a public meeting of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville. Pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene a regular meeting on October 15, 2024 at 5 p.m. in the City Commission chambers located on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall, Old Federal Building, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas, 78520. We have members of the public who submitted a public comment form will be permitted to offer public comments as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting. A recording of the meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Mayor, would you like for me to continue with roll call?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Mayor John Cowan?
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Rose Gowan?
Speak here.
Thank you. Commissioner Linda C. Macias?
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Pedro Cardenas? Thank you. Commissioner Tino Villarreal?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Brian L. Martinez?
Present.
Thank you. And Commissioner Roy de los Santos?
Present.
Thank you. Mayor, we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Being that we do have a quorum, I'd like to call this evening's meeting to order.
Thank you. And for the record, it is 5:02 p.m. The meeting has been called to order. Next, we do have invocation, which will be done by Pastor Burks and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's all stand for the prayer, and please remain standing afterwards for the pledge to the flags. Father God, once again, we thank you so much for your love, your grace, and your mercy. And Lord, when we see what's happening in the rest of the world, we thank you that much more for our blessings here in the city of Brownsville. Once again, we lift up the people that have been devastated by the storms in Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama. Lord, we lift up those people that are in war-torn areas in Israel and Ukraine, and all those areas throughout the Middle East. Lord, draw all of us to you. Draw all of us to you. We pray thy kingdom come, thy will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. And Lord, we ask you for this meeting today to lead and guide our mayor, our city commissioners, all of our department heads, and anyone that has anything to say tonight for the very best for the city of Brownsville. Lead and guide each one of us, destroy our deceptions, and help us to receive your revelation. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Let's take a short moment of silence where we can all add our prayers to what has already been spoken. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Next, we have proclamations. Recognizing and commemorating the National Disability Employment Awareness Month.
If you're here on behalf of this proclamation, I can please have you come up here. And it gives me great pride and honor to be stating this proclamation alongside Mayor John Cowan. A proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing the National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Whereas October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and whereas the theme for this year's National Disability Employment Awareness Month in October is access to good jobs for persons with disabilities. Meanwhile, individuals with disabilities demonstrate their value as productive contributors and taxpayers in the city, And whereas more than 1/4 of the residents in the city of Brownsville have reported having one or more disabilities, and their unemployment rate is more than double that of people without disabilities. And whereas employers are crucial in providing opportunities for work experience, career paths, and the diversity that comes through labor. And whereas to benefit the economy and keep its competitiveness in the marketplace, the city of Brownsville values the contributions of all people, including those with disabilities. And whereas the city of Brownsville is steadfast in its commitment to providing workers with disabilities with meaningful work opportunities. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the charter of said city, and on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby recognize the anniversary of NDAM dating back to 1945, and hereby proclaim October 2024 as National Disability Employment Awareness Month, done on this, the 15th day of October, 2024.
Right over here. Now, 3, 1, 2, 3. 4.
Well, thank you very much, Commissioner and Mayor Cowan, for doing this symbolic gesture acknowledging October as the National Disability Employment Awareness Month. We're hoping that this will allow us as part of the Special Needs Advisory Board of the city and also Texas Workforce Commission, Vocational Rehab, and the Texas Workforce Solutions here in Cameron County allow us to go forth and talk to your businesses and community leaders that in the business environment to let them know all the wonderful programs that we have that can help them if they participate in hiring people with disabilities. The city has done an excellent job in promoting disability. I know the HR department that I've worked with has done a very good job with accommodations for their employees, the policies that they have. I have researched them in the past. I have nominated them for awards, but hopefully next year we can get the award. And so thank you. I do want to acknowledge the people that came, if you all don't mind. I'm going to name them, okay? Let's see who's here. Mr. Basañez, he's a counselor with vocational rehab. Stan, Ms. Hernandez, also counselor with vocational rehab. Erica, she's a community outreach person for vocational rehab. And I know I saw Mr. Vela and, oh, over there, our director for Cameron County Workforce Solutions. He's been our executive director since almost a year. He now has an anniversary. And of course, our great chairman for the Special Needs Committee, Mr. Sergio Zarate. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have recognizing Super Cream Brownsville and their anniversary.
Si gustan pasar adelante, es un honor tener la familia Jovela con nosotros celebrando su 70 aniversario aquí en la ciudad de Bronzeville. Vamos a comenzar. A proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing Grupo Super Cream and Super Cream Brownsville. Whereas Grupo Super Cream started in 1945, founded by Ms. Esther Jovela, a mother of 11, in Tampico, Tamaulipas, Mexico, a sister city to Brownsville, Texas. And whereas Ms. Jovela began by baking delicious cakes and pastries from her home, made of 100% natural raw ingredients, which became well known for their delicious flavor, giving rise to an expanded menu which would grow into a restaurant and bakery chain. And whereas Ms. Jovela's sons have been in charge of expanding the Super Cream concept over the years, which now boasts multiple locations across the state of Tamaulipas and Mexico, new restaurants like the successful 360 Grill and Bar Concepts, 360 Main Room, Fast Food Deli, and Toscafino. And whereas Grupo Super Cream now has their first locations in the United States with a Super Cream and Toscafino in Brownsville, Texas, which has created over 80 direct jobs in our city and which has already seen great success, consistently providing the same high quality of food and service which Super Cream was founded on. And whereas Grupo Super Cream is now in the process of further expansion through the development and franchises of the Super Cream brand, with the same commitment to the superior product, job creation, investment in and development of human capital, and the highest quality customer service, which has allowed the company to endure its first 70 years, which will be undoubtedly shepherded through their next 100. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by the virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, and on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby recognize Grupo Super Cream, its founder, Ms. Esther Jovela, her children, and in our city, her son, Jaime Jovela, owner-operator and general manager, Carlos Cortez, for bringing an iconic brand from Tampico, Mexico to the United States and launching it here in our community, Brownsville, Texas, creating jobs and contributing to the economic development, and further encourage all residents to be aware and to support local businesses. Done on this 15th day of October 2024, signed by the Mayor and City Commission.
Count 23. 1, 2, 3. One more.
Or Sean? Yours. I'll just say his name really quick.
Si gustarían compartir unas palabras, pueden hacerlo y nada más felicidades al restaurante. Yo estoy allí una vez a la semana y está riquísimo. Le estaba platicando al comisionado Martínez que necesita nada más un reconocimiento para la concha con cajeta, porque está riquísima. La concha con cajeta ha llevado la concha a un próximo nivel, ¿ok? Y me han arruinado ese momento con la concha porque ya no la puedo tener así, la tengo que tener con cajeta de Super Cream.
Muchas gracias por el comercial. Gracias, Linda. Buenas tardes, honorable alcalde John Cohen, honorables miembros del Cabildo de la ciudad de Brownsville, Texas, amigos y amigas. En nombre del Grupo Super Cream, Toscafino, de la familia Jovela y de todo nuestro equipo de colaboradores, quiero agradecer esta distinción que el día de hoy tienen a bien otorgarnos, mismas que aceptamos con mucho respeto y orgullo como una muestra de nuestro compromiso de creer en Brownsville, de invertir en Brownsville y de crear fuentes de empleo y contribuir para hacer de esta ciudad en la que nosotros y nuestros hijos se sientan orgullosos. Muchas gracias a todos.
Next, recognizing October as Vascular Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome VEDS Awareness Month.
All right, good afternoon. This is a proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing VEDS Awareness and Action Month. Whereas vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, VEDS, is a life-threatening, lifelong genetic aortic and vascular condition, and whereas nearly 80% of individuals with VEDS experience vascular complications, including potentially fatal or aortic disconnection by the age of 40, and whereas it is estimated that 1 in 50,000 individuals, or 6,000 to 8,000 people in the United States, are born with VEDS. And whereas awareness and early diagnosis is key to medical monitoring that allows individuals to experience the best possible outcome while living with VEDS. And whereas it is critically important that the first responders, emergency departments personnel, and all healthcare providers to be aware of both the signs of VEDS and symptoms of the aortic disconnect in VEDS patients, recognizing same as an acute medical emergency that requires immediate CT scan and potentially surgical intervention to save lives. And whereas through public awareness, the City of Brownsville seeks to raise awareness of VEDS in order to properly diagnose and treat individuals affected by this condition. And whereas everyone can learn the signs and symptoms by visiting the VEDSmovement.org website. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city and on behalf of all citizens, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 to be VEDS Awareness and Action Month, done this 15th day of October 2024. I do think it's important to point out that this family here has been crucial in bringing VEDS awareness to Brownsville. I like to thank him for reaching out. They've obviously done a great job with it, and they continue to, so I think it's important for them to give us a few words on what it is, right?
Good afternoon, City Commission. My name is Alvaro Lagarza. On behalf of my family and myself, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to the City of Brownsville for the recent proclamation recognizing October as VEDS Awareness Month. I would especially like to thank Mayor John Cowan and Commissioners Pedro Cardenas and Tino Villarreal for sponsoring this important initiative. As a father of Sofia Maria, the only diagnosed VEDS patient in the Rio Grande Valley, this recognition holds profound significance to my family. Actions like this not only bring crucial awareness to a rare condition, but also inspire us to continue our mission of raising funds for research and supporting efforts to find a cure. Your support motivates our advocacy and gives hope to families like ours who face the challenges of living with VEDS on a daily basis. Lastly, we'd also like to express our heartfelt thanks to our friends, family, and the entire community who have supported us since day one. Your unwavering encouragement and care have been invaluable in this journey. Thank you again for standing with us and making a difference. Jed.
Abo, I think it's important that, that we recognize VED's awareness, but it's also awareness and action. And if there's one thing that I've learned from you guys is that there's action, and it's very apparent. With I got to see it firsthand at Canes and then Rancho Viejo, and what you guys are doing to action to raise the funds. It's not just awareness. You get your hands dirty, and you have all those people behind you that are friends and family, and that's what it takes to take something into action and actually make something happen. And so we're very proud of you, and whatever we can do to help and continue to assist the action part of it, please count on that from the entire commission and the mayor.
Next, we have public comment period. As a friendly reminder, per section 2-26, meetings and agendas, public input during meetings, conduct. Conversations between or among audience members should be conducted outside the meeting room. Attendees should refrain from conversations while commission is in session. Cell phones. Attendees must refrain from the operation and use of cellular telephones, pagers, etc., or any mechanical devices that may disrupt city commission proceedings. Placards, banners, or signs are not to be permitted in commission chambers or in any other room in which the city commission conducts the meeting. Included in this prohibition are various hats, caps, visors, and t-shirts which may represent sentiments as alluded to regarding placards, banners, and/or signs. Exhibits, displays, and visual aids used in connection with presentations to the commission are permitted. Only city commission members and city staff may approach the dais. If report, letter, etc. is to be presented to the commission, it should be given to the city secretary or staff who will make the distribution. It is preferable that the item to be distributed be given to the city secretary prior to meeting time. A copy of the item should be made available for the city secretary's official record. All comments shall be made to the mayor and city commission as a whole, and not to individual commission members. So, Mayor, city commissioners, we did receive 3 public comments. The first one is Sean Ayers.
Good evening, Mr. Ayers. Can you state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes?
My name is Sean Ayers, for the record. I'm here because last time I was here, I wanted to put on agenda how much money was being wasted through OEM and disaster management on non-disaster and non-emergency economic migrants. I want a number, as this seems to be a misallocation, and I hope you call me a racist while y'all play demographic replacement. I want answers. The last place I lived, the town council actually interacted. I know a lot of places don't do that to hide their corrupt liberal politics. The average Haitian has an IQ of 67, with 69 being mildly retarded, but they aren't eating cats and dogs when countries eat monkey brains and bash the monkey's head in with a hammer, but an individual with a 67 IQ isn't going to eat a cat, sure. You do know America has just had a natural disaster, right? Why aren't we aiding them? That's right, the liberal scourge of America hates America, but you can run your loads of people that have never contributed nothing to the country, state, and city. I want answers why they have money for people, but don't have money to help the American people. But these economic migrants get van rides. These people are not escaping violence. They cross 4 different countries to get here just to move to Chicago, where under Democratic control, 40 people get shot in a weekend. But I see the Democrats want every city in America to be Chicago. Detroit, Chicago, Rhodesia. Diversity has no empire. Diversity's empire is ruined. When a real emergency comes, just like North Carolina, you spent the money on freeloaders looking for a handout. And because that's just the way the Democrats want it. You hate America, and when it comes to it, you support other people that have never put into the pot, never aided to the kitty. While the American people are under 4 feet of water, you have money to waste on emergency management to run these people wherever. Why aren't you helping the people of North Carolina? If you got all that money to waste on people that have never contributed to this society, to this country, why are you not helping the people under 4 foot of water that have no homes but can't get $750, which FEMA said they would supply, which is a smack in the face to the American people?
Next, we did have Mia Cisneros, did not wish to address the mayor and commission. Next, we have Yolanda Spies.
Good afternoon. As a continuation from my last speech during the last
Ma'am,
meeting,
can you state your name for the record, please?
my name is Yolanda Spies.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. As a continuation from my last speech during the last meeting, I want to focus today on finding a more direct way to address the issue I've been speaking about for well over a year. While I've stood here many times sharing my concerns and seeking resolution, the apathy and lack of meaningful action has left me feeling unheard and uncertain about the process. It's clear to me, and has been for a long time, that we need better, more direct ways of addressing these complaints. One that doesn't leave citizens feeling like their voices are falling on deaf ears, like this one. The process should be approachable and transparent. Right now, many of us feel intimidated by the very procedures meant to protect us, and we question whether our concerns are truly being considered or taken seriously. I believe there needs to be an easier, more accessible path for residents to file complaints, one that removes the fear of being ignored, dismissed, or intimidated. This is not just about me, about every citizen who's struggled to navigate this complex and often discouraging system. We need to be able to submit complaints without feeling that they will be met with indifference and a lack of professionalism, like me, because I did experience that. I'm asking for a solution that truly works for the people of this community, whether it's creating a clearer, more transparent process or ensuring that complaints are handled with the respect and seriousness that they deserve and not being gaslit. The goal must be to restore trust between citizens and city officials. We all want a Brownsville where every resident feels heard, respected, and confident that their concerns will be addressed professionally and fairly. I believe that with a direct approach and a commitment to improving this system, we can achieve that, but we have to work on that. I urge you to take this seriously, to work toward creating a complaint process that is fair, open, and accessible to everybody. Time to ensure that no one feels left behind, abused, or disregarded, or ignored when they come to you for help.
Next is presentations. Presentation by Healthy Communities of Brownsville, Age-Friendly Community Survey. City Manager's Office, Healthy Communities of Brownsville.
Hello, this is Rose Timmer. And I think just about everybody knows me. So I came to talk to you all this afternoon and update you on our AARP grant. You all have given us a lot of support. Mayor Helen, she fixes my emails. and just given us a lot of information, a lot of support on what we're doing with this. The summary was that we're doing a 6-month grant. It's due December the 15th, and we have to do a final report by December the 31st. We did a bilingual survey. We are continuing with a bilingual survey. We are over 400 surveys of various ages, and I'll share that information with you in a little while. But the grant is being used to talk to the City Commission about establishing a senior advocacy committee, like you do for your special needs, like you do for your youth and your, I think, other committees that you have. Okay? Do I click this thing or what? Oh, okay. So we've surveyed, with these results, 441 participants, and the median participant age is 57. So I guess we are a young city. Trying to find old people is kind of hard sometimes. But does that mean that they're not available because we can't find them? Or does that mean they're stuck in their homes? We need to think about that, because I know there are old people out there. I'm old, I'm 70. So your zip codes are there for your commissioners. The 65 or over, the ages, and the genders. Lots of women participated. Men, not too much. They're kind of shy. Let's see. 73% of the people, oh, did I do something wrong? Okay, 73% of the people live in a house. They live alone. And they rate, 20% of them rate Brownsville as an excellent place to age. Okay, so these are the results down here that we got that information from. They all feel that it's extremely important to stay in Brownsville, age in Brownsville, live with their friends and families. So we need to do something about that. They want improvements in regards to safety, healthcare, and more social activities. And I was very shocked that 41% of the respondents said that their health was good, Rose. Yes. But we surveyed people that were at exercise classes, Tu Salud Si Cuenta, at the mall with the walk. They walk at the mall every morning, the Ciclovia. So yeah, that makes sense that those people that were at those events are healthy. And that's where our totals came from. I didn't survey hospitals. I didn't survey churches, not yet, but we're going to do that. A lot of them, 39% said they had none of the chronic diseases, which really surprised me because diabetes is supposed to be real big in Brownsville, heart, vascular problems, and we had results that didn't show that. But it could be the audience that we had and participated in our surveys, and we hope that that changes. 74% of your participants vote in elections. That's great. And 26% come to city commission meetings, and they get their information from the television. Very rarely the newspaper anymore. Facebook was a big one too, but so the media, that particular, which is kind of strange that we depend on Facebook to get our information, but we do. So the next thing that's going to happen, and I want to invite you all for a community forum on aging, sharing these results with the public, and you all are more than invited to come and participate. We're going to invite the people that have been surveyed, put out a notice that anybody, it's open to the public, it's free. We're going to feed them, so they come, and then really talk about some of these results, and they'll change, of course, but this was only 441 surveys. We still have about 400 more to go, and we've got events going all the way to December the 1st to talk to the people. We went to Ciclovia, we went to the health club, the health events, and got the information that we currently have and show you. But we are continuing with our surveys. I sent you all a link too. I hope you all filled it out. Okay, so you have any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Rose.
You're welcome.
Can you send us this slide with the date? Mark your calendars.
Oh, my picture, wait, you got to show my picture. That's good. Not bad for a 70-year-old.
Yeah, the previous slide. Can you send us that slide with the save the date on it for December 10th? Next slide.
This one?
Next slide.
Forward?
Right there, that one.
Oh, this one. Yes, I'm going to send you that.
Please.
Of course, absolutely. No problem. And if you're here in the audience, we're going to get you to do a survey tonight because you just can't leave the city commission meeting without doing one. We've already got a couple of you all. So we're going to keep doing that while you're doing your business. Thanks a lot for listening to me. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Next, we have the city manager's update. Binational participation, North Capitol Forum.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. I wanted to recognize that Mayor Cowan did represent the city at a binational North Capitol Forum that took place in Mexico City. And I think it's important as the city continues to forge our relationships with Mexico and Matamoros that we're represented in these forums. And Mayor, if you want to talk really quickly about what you spoke about, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure. Just to clarify, this was actually a tri-national event. It was really, and especially with the USMCA coming under for renegotiation in 2026. They really focus on all the issues that are affecting trade, and one of them is border infrastructure and border efficiency, right? And that was the panel that I served on with the head of Kansas City's Southern Railroad for Mexico, and also a former ambassador to the U.S. for Mexico. So and someone from Mexico, from Washington, D.C., that was part of a think tank. So it was a really good discussion. Obviously, the audience was it was comprised of a lot of leaders from private industry and the public sector as well. So it was a great opportunity to tell the story, what's happening here, and how important it is to invest in our ports of entry and making sure our processes are efficient so that trade flows very well, so that we all prosper as a region, right? And I think, again, I think it was a very good event. And I was invited by Consul Ariada from the Mexican consul to participate. I thought that was a very worthwhile event.
And I think the Flor de Mayo International Bridge, the presidential permit is key to our gateway, and also BTX Fiber, which was also at the Texas Municipal League. We had Commissioner De Los Santos and Martinez participating there. And so our message keeps growing with infrastructure being fiber and also international permits. Thank you.
Next are consent agenda items.
Mayor, I'll move to approve 1 through 3 and 5 through 9.
All right, we have a motion. Second.
Second.
I would like to pull 3.
Okay, so can you repeat
Do
the
you
ones
mind-
that we're
Do you
voting
mind
on here?
changing it?
1 and 2 and 5 through 9.
All right, we have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
I would just like to abstain from 3, please.
I'll move to approve number 3.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
For the record, this consideration and action to approve the last renewal for the contract agreement with Atelier 956 LLC for video streaming services, BSS 760722 for the city of Brownsville in the amount of $6,900 per month as budgeted.
We do have a motion and a second. I believe everyone voted in favor.
Thank
Thank you.
you. This is number 4, consideration and action to authorize payment to Link Strategic Partners for the final payment of the Games of Texas Summer 2023 advertising campaign in amount not to exceed $41,400, Communication and Marketing Department.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mayor and Commission. So basically what we're asking for is to be able to pay Link Strategic Partners for an amount due to them of $41,000. Essentially, this is the part of the campaign that they did for us back in 2023, summer of 2023. This was so that we could promote Games of Texas. I don't know if you all recall, we had 2 big waves of immigrant influx. And so in order to basically counteract a lot of the myths that were abounding in social media and in trying to target specifically the areas of Texas where a lot of the population that was visiting for Games of Texas was located at. We needed to, do this second wave of campaign. And so that's essentially what we're asking to be able to pay through these $41,400.
Okay, I have 2 points I did want to make on that. My first concern, especially as a marketing guy, the fact that this is for the 23 marketing and we're just getting reports from them in September of 24. To me, there are opportunities to learn from the marketing, to learn from the impressions, to learn how the campaign went. And we could have applied those learnings to the campaign for 2024. That opportunity was missed because we're getting this so late from them. That was my first concern. My second one, and I think you have addressed it, but in the packet, the way this was framed is that this was the vendor demonstrating payment of additional digital advertising beyond the original scope of work and budget. When I looked at that, that made it sound to me like they went off and spent money that they weren't authorized to spend. And my question is, were they authorized to do this? Was the city aware? Did the city approve? Now I understand with the context of the influx, and I know what the perception was out there. I do remember us talking about doing damage control for that. But yeah, the way it was framed in the packet could be misleading.
Yes, Commissioner, there was a not to exceed contract in the amount of 50,000, not to exceed. They construed it, and basically, we don't really have to pay this amount. The thing is that we're being a good partner because they did show us that they did do digital advertising in this amount in these different areas. And so what I did asked staff to check is that did they go above and beyond, and was that advertising really something that showed that it was utilized and showed that it really helped us. It was during a really bad time where we had certain families even wanting to boycott us. And so we went back and forth with them. We told them that we weren't going to pay the additional amount unless they showed data and showed that they really had. They said that in a meeting that we had, they took it as where we needed to add more digital advertising because it was a dire situation. We were at the point that, I don't know if you recall, that they were threatening to actually cancel the games in Brownsville. It was also a time when we had the unfortunate accident of 8 migrants that were killed from an unfortunate accident. So it was so for the contract, it was a 50,000 not to exceed. However, we did go back and they said, would you please consider paying us because we can show all the invoicing and additional digital content, that advertising content that we paid for, right? And so staff did review it. Staff reviewed, was that positive? Did that help our campaign? And they said, yes, it did. And so we said, okay, it was a positive campaign. The Games of Texas were successful. And so that's why we were here with you after the fact. Normally we wouldn't. This is an exceptional case.
Thank you.
So why is this coming so late to us?
Part of the reason for this is, again, this was a misunderstanding, essentially. Us refuting to them that we had already paid, and them making us aware that this was an outstanding amount. That was an error on our part, and so then that's when we took it to city manager trying to get this paid. I just want to reiterate that the results stand for themselves as far as what they did for marketing for us. They did turn the tide of registrations from, going to the brink of boycotting this event to actually having a very successful event, to the point that people were, telling us, in droves that they couldn't wait to come back to Brownsville. And again, the second year was a very successful one. So what they did for us was, in fact, a very good job. It's just, on our department's part, it was an error in processing those payments.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this item? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
Public hearings. Public hearing number 1, public hearing and action to authorize the City of Brownsville Police Department to apply for the fiscal year 2024 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, JAG, Program Local Solicitation Application, Grant 1426-1469, for the amount of $69,761. Police Department.
Mayor, City Commission, this item is a public hearing and action to authorize the City of Brownsville Police Department to apply for the fiscal 2024 Justice Assistance Grant. During the consent agenda items, the commission approved the interlocal agreement between the City of Brownsville Police Department and the Cameron County regarding this grant commonly known as JAG. Just a brief history, the JAG grant, which started in 2005, provides states, government agencies, and local governments with federal funding addressing law enforcement needs. The City of Brownsville has participated in this grant program for the past 19 years. The total grant amount is $69,761. We are requesting commission approval to apply for this grant. The Brownsville Police Department will be using its funding for a crisis negotiation communication system and computer equipment. Cameron County will be using their funding to purchase computer and law enforcement related equipment. This is a public hearing.
Any questions or comments from the commission?
Motion to approve.
All right,
This is up
this is a
public.
this is a public hearing. If there's anyone here that wishes to address the commission on this item, please step forward.
Mayor, I move to close public hearing.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to close public hearing. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you.
Public hearing number 2. Public hearing and action on first reading on ordinance number 235-2024-029 to rezone from agricultural AG to residential transition R3 to allow a single-family and townhome development for 27.18 acres comprised of 16.58 acres out of Block 3 and 10.6 acres out of Block 6, El Jardín subdivision, Cameron County, Texas, located at Dana Avenue, Brownsville, Texas, 78526, as shown in Exhibit A, District 3, Planning and Redevelopment Department.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. This rezoning is to go from agriculture to residential transition, R3. As mentioned, the proposed use is single-family and townhome development. The property is fronting Dana Avenue. This is a 200-foot buffer map. There were 62 mailouts and 0 written opposition. And as you can see in the surrounding areas, what predominates is single-family dwelling. There's some vacant land to the north, and there's a school to the west. This is a zoning map, and also to provide a little bit of history, this property was annexed into city limits back in August of this year. It is a CDCB development, and because it was annexed into the city by ordinance, the zoning through which it gets incorporated is by default agriculture. Therefore, they're having to go through the rezoning process to accommodate the proposed use. And so to the west, to the north and the south, to the east, to the north and the south is the extraterritorial jurisdiction. To the west, we have residential single family as well as residential suburban. This is a satellite view, and just to provide additional context, Dana currently exists as a 40-foot right-of-way. In the future, it will be expanded to a 110-foot right-of-way, which would be a secondary arterial. We also want to point out that there is a future connection to Soul Road, which is across the Resaca, which will be eventually a collector, which is an 80-foot right-of-way. And this is just another image, but basically showing our the adopted thoroughfare plan. And as mentioned, Soul Road, or the connection to Soul Road, is a proposed collector of 80 feet. This is the conceptual layout that was provided by the applicant. And as shown here, it's still subject to approval. They're proposing a product of 141 parcels. So again, this is just conceptual, but it's just meant to give you an idea as to what density they're proposing and how many lots approximately this development will consist of. Again, we wanted to show Dana Avenue along the western property line, shown as a secondary arterial, and again, the collector, which is proposed to be part of this area in the future. As mentioned, Dana Road is an existing 40-foot right-of-way. In the future, this project for expansion on Dana Avenue will begin in the fall of 2025. This is just a zoomed out image, a satellite image to show the importance of these connections, east-west connections, basically showing how they would alleviate traffic into the north all the way to Dr. Hugh Emerson or Alton Gore Boulevard. And so this request is consistent with the comprehensive plan and future land use plan. P&Z did recommend the approval to rezone from agriculture to residential transition. Any questions?
I have a question, Martin. If you go back about 3 slides, there was an overlay to the, right there. What is the connection to Soul Road? I assume the housing is going to be not going to be built in the way. In other words, are you anticipating that road connection be for real, truly?
Right. The thoroughfare was pointed out to them when they approached the city originally, when they wanted to annex the property. We let them know that this thoroughfare is part of the adopted thoroughfare plan. So they would have to accommodate.
That shows the houses are in the way, but when the plat comes through, it will accommodate.
Right. As mentioned, this is just a conceptual layout intended to give you a visual as to, right.
Thank you.
That, the strip of land that's on the west side, is that the right of way? That's part of the expansion for Dana, or is that going to be developed as well?
No, that's going to be part of the right of way. It's going to be part of the expansion.
Okay. Comments or questions from the commission? Okay, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone here that wishes to address the commission on this item, please step forward. Come on up.
Come up to the mic,
Come
Rose.
up to the mic. And state your name, please, Rose.
Rose Timmer at Winter Haven Resort on Dana. Anyway, what's it going to do to Dana? It's very crowded.
Yes, we pointed out that there will be an expansion project for Dana starting on the fall of 2025. Therefore, from the current existing cross-section of 40 feet, it will go up to 110 feet, which will alleviate some of the traffic.
Doro, do you want to go into the section of what that will look like for, to help educate on what we're proposing?
I don't recall the exact section, but Dana Road is part of the CCRMA improvements for 2027.
And just looking at the connectivity in terms of our sidewalks on that road, is that, I mean, I know there's 2 schools on Dana, right, at least?
Complete streets, yeah.
It's going to be a complete street?
Yes.
So that people will be able to connect?
Mayor, I will say that that project, Dana Road, is led by the CCRMA, but one side will be a 10-foot trail, and then the other side will be a 5-foot sidewalk. And so, yes, and it is 4 lanes, 2 in each direction.
I'm assuming they're going to put the 10, are all 3 schools on the same side of the street?
I think so. Yes.
So we'll hopefully encourage them to put the 10-foot
Correct.
on the school side.
Mhm.
And it's a very anticipated project that we have. So that area is precinct 5, and there's been a lot of issues from drainage to the road, to the sidewalks, children walking on the ditches. Yeah, we have 3 campuses on site there, and they each have about anywhere between 500 and 700 children per campus. And so, yeah, looking into this, that was one of my biggest issues was traffic. We already have enough traffic going on there, cars zooming out through the neighborhoods. But it makes me feel comfortable knowing that there's going to be other avenues to go to and through from this neighborhood. And just seeing that the latest information we received on Friday was that our project for Dana Avenue will be bumped up. It's supposed to be 2028, but through great efforts and collaboration with everyone from Cameron County, the city of Bronzeville, to TxDOT, and even the neighborhood, we've been able to push that forward. So hopefully early 2026. So
Start construction is 5 of 2025. And so hopefully in a year from today, you'll see.
yeah, they said late 2025 to early 26. But if it's earlier, oh my goodness, it would be a great year in District 2 with Coffeeport Road and Dana Avenue. It would be amazing. So may the good Lord hear you.
So I'm especially glad because I've heard about this project for probably a decade, so I'm so glad about it. The collector, that what Commissioner Macias said made me think of something else. The collector, the proposed Soul Road access, it will have sidewalks as well?
Yeah, so the city adopted the complete streets ordinance, and so we're required to do that, Commissioner, yes. Yep.
So, great, thank you.
Is there anyone else that wishes to address the commission on this item?
Mayor, I move to close public hearing.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Public hearing now closed.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries.
Public hearing number 3. Public hearing and action on first reading on ordinance number 235-2024-030-S to request a specific use permit to allow a used car lot in a commercial corridor CC zoning designation to allow a used car lot for 0.22 acres out of the south half of Lot 3, Block 1 of the Samano partition of Wymore Estates subdivision, Cameron County, Texas, located at 7201 Paredes Line Road, Brownsville, Texas, 78526, as shown in Exhibit A, District 3 Planning and Redevelopment Department.
So as mentioned, this is a request for a specific use permit to allow a used car lot along Paredes Line Road. The current zoning for this property is commercial corridor. This is a 200-foot buffer map. There were 11 mailouts and 0 written opposition. And as you can see, this is an area where this type of use is predominant. This is a zoning map. The main zoning within this area is commercial corridor. There's also regional center to the northwest, high industrial to the east, as well as light industrial. This is a satellite image of the area. The request is consistent with the comprehensive plan and future land use plan. However, P&Z recommends the approval for the specific use permit to allow a used car lot. If approved, and as it has been done for previous car lot uses, staff does point out that these conditions would be applicable. All parking would be within the property in an organized fashion. Additional vegetation buffers and screening, storage of inventory within the property, unloading of inventory within the property, masonry walls when applicable, and work within enclosed areas if there's going to be any accessory maintenance to vehicles. Any questions?
Martin, are they currently in compliance with the current certificate that they have?
They do have a certificate of occupancy. They have been there for many years. Because they have to renew their license with the state, now they're having to put the property into compliance.
And that whole satellite image that you showed us, it only showing a square of that whole rectangle. So is that the only property we're entertaining today, is only that?
Right, so they're asking for a specific use permit just for the particular portion that's going to be used. Everything else, they have already started clearing. We did point out to them that anything that's not part of the specific use permit, it does have to be clear. They're actually almost done clearing the parcel.
Thank you.
I know in the past, in the last rain, that area floods really, really bad. I don't know if there's an update on, I know it's a separate issue, but that whole area where the rectangle is.
Mayor, for this particular area, when we do the improvements, I believe this backs up to the bike trail.
Yes.
Yeah, the drainage ditch that'll be done to alleviate tradition estates will also improve the drainage in this area.
Thank you. Any further questions? All right, this is public hearing. If there's anyone here that wishes to address the commission on this item, please step forward.
Move to close.
Motion to close in a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say
I
nay.
do, sorry, I do have
Yeah, I'm sorry.
discussion.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know that we've had multiple of these. I just would like for us to consider, I'll vote for it. But in the future, just for you, Martin, and for city management, I just think it's important for us to think of the future and the character of our city, especially with commercial corridors. Paredes Lane, right now, obviously, we could look at the map and things around it that's what it is. I don't know in 25 years if Paredes Lane Road is gonna need a different vision. And allowing the rezoning now could affect the integrity, of our commercial corridors as we think of the future growth of Brownsville. Those were just my comments.
We can definitely look at that.
And I think what we tend to see with things like that, especially when we're talking about 25 years down the road, as the local economy changes, zoning will likely get updated. We'll do more master planning and master zoning. And as that happens, you'll have other types of industry come in here and offer to buy these properties and convert what they do with them. Yeah, I think with the capitalist society, it'll take care of itself.
Also working on a comprehensive plan for this year. So I think that's a good indicator of what's working, what's not, and also our growth areas. What should we be looking at with our growth areas? And is there any clustering of land, of certain types of land uses that we would want to change?
Thank you. I believe we had a first and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Martin.
Thank you.
Was that, just to confirm, that was just for the closing of the public hearing? Or
Was it? That's correct. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion. Second?
Second.
Yeah, thank you. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Ayes have it. Okay, we have two. Have it, motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, items for individual consideration. Item number 1, consideration and action to approve receiving American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds from Cameron County in the amount of $500,000 to the city of Brownsville to be used for water and sanitary sewer projects in accordance with ARPA guidelines, Enterprise Project Management Office and Grants Department.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners. Roberto Valles, Director of EPMO. And also with me, I have Olga Moya.
Hello, I'm Olga Moya, Assistant Director of Grants.
So the first item we're here tonight is a good item. We need your approval for us to receive the ARPA monies, American Rescue Act Plan, on the amount of $500,000. That amount we're going to be utilizing for Gladys Porter Sue Water and Wastewater Project. And of course, the reason that also is Grants Department, they did an amazing job. Our city manager reached out to us that Cameron County was interested on provide some funding to us. So, Grants Departments put all the hands on deck, fill out the application, and within the month, we received the notice that we were approved. So that's what we're here tonight for. You all have any questions?
Well done.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations.
great. And thank you to the county.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Approve. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
Action item number 2, consideration and action to award a contract to Moorville LLC for the Gladys Porter Zoo Water Wastewater Improvement Project utilizing American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds in the amount of $5,111,064.56 as budgeted. Engineering and Public Works Enterprise Project Management Office.
Good evening, Mayor Commissioners. Again, Roberto Baez, and also I have with me Carlos Lastra
Carlos Lastra, City Engineer.
and our partners from Hanson.
Good evening, Sarah DeBerry from Hanson.
I'm Richard Riggins from Hanson, the project engineer for the project.
So first of all, thank you for approving us accepting the 500,000. As you know, part of one of the 5 projects that we have under ARPA, one of them was Gladys Porter Zoo Water and Wastewater Project. After going through the process of, bid proposal, of course, procurement department helped us a lot with Carlos and guidance, Mr. Garcia as well. Hanson as our partner, we finally came out with one final lower bidder, which is gonna be Moorville LLC. Due to the amount that we received, the 500,000, now we're able to not only get the base bid for 3.4 million, that will give us 2 new lift stations and 2 rehab stations. And we have noted on the map in your deck, you should have it as well. But now we're gonna also have additive number 2 and number 3. Those are for improvements on the lines identified on the map. So total, we're gonna be helping the zoo and the zone for 4,600 linear feet. And if you have more technical questions, of course, Hanson partners are here tonight for answer any other additional questions you might have.
I would also add the estimated completion date for this, or time for this project is 400 days.
Dodo, I do have a question. Will this be able to be tied into the future zoo part? Will you have like an intake somewhere that you'll be able to do that? Or is that something that'll be separate? Is that something that we should look at?
Yes, good evening, Sarah DeBerry with Hanson. I'm here with Rick Riggins. So as we were working through the design of this project, we did take into account the expansion and master plan. We were also subconsultants with the architects that worked on the master plan. So we were well aware of the intentions to expand and improve the zoo.
Thank you.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
Action item number 3, public hearing and, consideration and action for a term contract with Foremost Paving, Inc. for purchase delivery of Schedule 1, reconstruct runway 1836 from approach end of runway 36 to station 29+00, and Schedule 2, install new wind cone and replace taxiway B storm inlets at the Brownsville South Party Island International Airport in the amount of $10,689,965.50. Airport Department.
Good afternoon, City Mayor and City Commissioners. This item is to award Foremost Paving under a federal grant the reconstruction of runway 1836, which is our secondary runway at the airport that carries general aviation and corporate aircraft. This is phase 1 of a 3-year project. We have included in here also to install a new wind cone and replace some taxiway Bravo storm inlets. The runway condition, it grades 7 out of 100. So that's what requires us to reconstruct the runway instead of doing a rehab, which is what was done in 2004. The runway actually dates from 1985. So usually asphalt at an airport lasts about 20 years. So we're due for a complete reconstruction of this runway. So like I mentioned, we received $10 million this year, but we expect to receive another $10 million for the next 2 years. That will complete the project. Our share is 10% out of the project. So the FAA will be funding 90%. The bid proposal were received on June 27th. One bidder, Foremost Paving was the bidder. The contract amount is $10,413,175.50. There's a typo there. And $276,790 for the inlet and the windsock. So we're asking for the award of Foremost Paving, Inc. in the amount of $10,689,965.50 under a federal grant, which we call Grant 60.
Any comments or questions?
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right,
Second.
we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion on this item? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay.
Congratulations, Angel. I mean,
Ayes have it,
you
motion carries.
you came into the city and just, been since day one, hit the ground running. And this was needed, anticipated, and I'm so happy that we all collaborate together to get things done. And that's what we're here for, making sure that we see projects come to fruition. Of course, like any other organization, budgetary constraints are always our limitation, but nonetheless, it makes me so happy to see that we're having so much momentum happening within the city. The time is now. So thank you.
Appreciate it. Remember Aero's initial flight tomorrow. See you there.
You're on it.
Action item number 4, consideration and action to award a contract to Jimmy Klausner Sons Construction Company, Inc. for the West Brownsville drainage improvements for the city of Brownsville, number 107-24-EPW-IFB, in the amount of $1,485,786 as budgeted, Engineering and Public Works Department.
Honorable Commissioners, good evening. This item is to award a contract to Jimmy Klausner and Sons Construction Company for the West Brownsville drainage improvements in the amount of $1,485,786. The project consists of replacing a storm sewer line in the West Brownsville area, approximately 1,577 feet of line, and also repair at the intersection of West Elizabeth and West 17th Street. There's a sag there in the pavement that should be repaired as well. It's a 6-month project. The project will benefit approximately 250 acres in the West Brownsville area neighborhood and benefit about approximately 1,000 homes. Staff recommends approval.
Questions or comments?
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have board appointments. Action item number 1, consideration and action on resolution 2024-095, appointing tax increment reinvestment zone, TERS number 4, Madeira Development, Board of Directors, City of Brownsville appointees 1 through 7, and appointing a chairperson for the TERS number 4 board, Planning and Redevelopment Services.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the commission. We're here tonight to get your nominations to the Board of Directors for TERS number 4, Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone number 4, the Madeira Development at Highway 77 and 100. It's about a 1,300 acre development. And the City Commission appoints 10 board members to the Board of Directors. The Cameron County appoints 3 board members to that board, and the mayor nominates the chair. With that, we'd be ready to take your nominations.
I'd like to reappoint Billy Bradford.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
I'd like to reappoint Luis Eduardo Garduño.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
I'll be holding my appointment for the next meeting.
I'll also be holding my appointment for the next meeting.
Same here. We good? We're gonna hold? Okay, so I think we're good for right now.
We'll place it back on the next agenda.
Yep, thank you.
Action item number 2, consideration and action on resolution number 2024-092A to appoint members to the Youth Advisory Board, City Manager's Office.
Mayor and Commission, since the last meeting, we had initially appointed 8 members from BISD and St. Joseph School. Thank you, Commissioner De Los Santos reached out to IDEA. We now have 5 nominees from the IDEA schools that are eligible to be nominated. So we asked for their appointment tonight, and hopefully now we've reached out to Harmony, and we might have another one at the next meeting. It's not going to slow us down. We have our initial meeting scheduled for tomorrow night at the Central Library. So at 5:30, you're all invited to come and see and meet our members. And we look forward to moving this board forward and doing some good work.
I'll move to approve the appointments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you.
It is now 6:16 PM. Mayor, would you like to make a motion to go into executive session?
Sure, I'll make a motion. We have a motion and a
Would you
second.
like to move? Sorry.
Any further
To
discussion?
go into executive, yes. 16.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you. For the record, I'll be reading the following. Executive session item number 1, closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney related to Project Support 2.0, Office of the City Attorney. Executive session number 2, closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney related to Project Collectoris, Office of the City Attorney.
We're going to the boxing match this weekend. On the island, the Juarez brothers. It's their name of it.
Mayor, it's now 6:30 PM. Would you like to reconvene to regular meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Next items are the possible action on any items as discussed in executive session. Action item number 1, consideration action, if any, related to Project Support 2.0.
Mayor, move to proceed as discussed in executive session.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Let's have it, motion carries.
Next item, adjournment.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carries, meeting adjourned.
Thank you. It is 6:31 PM. Meeting has ended.